Weird.
Hello.
Mr. Dino.
Where's mine? Where's my guy? Smothered. Blanket smothered. Oh?
He's the best.
What's going on?
I just feel so lethargic. I was gonna ask you, so for our Tibetan business circle, I remember you were like, keep it for a month. So do I burn it now? Start a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially if you're called to that now, then do it. I lost mine. I think that's really funny. Like I have it must have like slipped out while I was on the plane or something. I was like, well, that's kind of like sacred burning.
Yeah.
um yeah, you've asked your business guides to hold what's in the middle, the energetics. And so it's being taken care of, so you can totally burn it.
Yeah. Well, I was just like, maybe I'll burn it and then write some new words or maybe the same words, but um just keeps like refining somehow. So I've been feeling super spacey.
Mm-hmm.
Like spacey and weird. And tired. And just like very, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't really like pinpoint what it is, like what it is, where it is.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel energetically true, like part of the spiral, or does it feel like pattern?
I think spiral or pattern. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
Spiral or pattern. It might be more like patterny. Because, okay, so I've been like observing my mom, which is like, I'm not going to do that anymore. But it started last week when I went to like her company barbecue with her. And she said some things about, see, and this is where I'm feeling like weight stuff is not me, like it's my mother.
Mm.
Because she had said stuff. She's like complaining about her weight, and this has been like my whole life, right? And but I was just watching her curiously the whole day, and I didn't react or respond to anything, right? I was just like, hmm, hmm. And I was like, whoa. the way that you talk to yourself is like horrible. And then I just like proceeded to watch her for like the next couple of days and probably like got out of my body at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure. But now I'm like not feeling good in my body and mostly like tired and lethargic when I'm here, like when I'm here and I'm feeling a little stuck in this might be patterning actually. I'm feeling stuck here.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. It's like I don't know what to do next, but then I'm also like there's many parts in here because it's like I'm still doing stuff and I'm still wanting to do what I'm doing. Um, it's just like mm, I don't even know. I was gonna say nothing sticking, but that's not like true. What I've been finding enjoyment in is like remember when we were like Canva's so dry? I've actually been like playing around in there and like really um I've been playing with like the watercolor spots and stuff and making it look like my own thing. And I just been playing with all of these layers and um like different positions like from an empty slate. And that's been really fun.
That's great.
Um and and at one point this week in WhatsApp when you were like, I'm curious where the tiredness is coming from. And I'd realized that like, oh, I'm just like trying to keep up with everybody. And I can't. I can't. I don't want to. I'm not supposed to. Um now I'm feeling things cool.
Hmm.
Um so I really took like the last couple of days to just be in my own space and like create and play and write things and like make a list of okay, what do I want to do so I can kind of keep some sort of groundedness in here. um so I've just been like going down my list when I'm like I don't know what to do, like okay, here's a list of things, pick one, pick two, do them. um and I would very much like to be and feel back in my body and um like I think I think I need help like seeing myself, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like to share one more thing about that. When we did Magic Monday, I was kind of, I mean, I've been in this space for a little bit, and sorry, I have no idea what all this noise is. Okay, how do I? And Libby had mentioned something about like my tendrils that I have to pull in. So we had this reading one time where she just randomly, I was asking all these questions, and then she was like, "What's going on with your brother?" And she told me that like I'm inquiring, like I have these tendrils that are like going into his room that are inquiring, and I didn't realize this like is unconsciously happening. And so I started to like set this intention of like I'm not inquiring, and I could feel the tendrils came from out here. And I was like, whoa, I think that's why my neck's been feeling weird. And I think this is kind of just what's been happening with when I was like, I'm just trying to keep up with everyone, is like all these tendrils are trying to, and I would like to be in my own body and space and pace.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. That's also what I was feeling. Tendrils or cords. And that's so fucking normal too. It's a
Yeah.
thing that we do. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. When I went on one of my last clearings, I was carrying like 7 of Sean's things, like his beliefs.
Yeah.
It happens. We're with people, we share energetic fields, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get you clear and back to yourself, and then we'll see what comes up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Close your eyes. And let go of any need to do anything. You don't have to do anything. I'm just going to walk us through the whole thing so you can soften. If there's any more judgment, self-judgment or shame around tendrils, you can let that go too. Soften there too. Just a couple breaths with intentional gentleness, ease, and letting go. Just letting go muscularly, letting go in the front of your chest, the back and your shoulder blades, your jaw, the tongue from the roof of your mouth, any furrows in your eyebrows. Just let go. Your low back. Yeah. Everything in your root. Let your body be met by water, suspended by water. Cleansed even by water. And send your roots down. And we're going to hold the desire, hold the direction of coming back into your own body, your own space, and your own pace. Just hold that direction. That's where we're heading. Your body, your space, your pace. I want you to feel below you a connection to a tube or a vacuum, like a vacuum hose is connected to the bottom of your auric field that goes all the way to the center of the earth. And this vacuum is just going to suck out all of the energy that's not yours. We're not making it wrong. It's just not yours. So you can feel that start to do its job. Every time you inhale, fill up with your own light. Every time you exhale, just see other people's. You might see that as dark or gunky or tarry or black or gray or green, slimy. I don't know. Maybe all of the above. Inhale, fill up with your own light. Exhale, let go. And let the vacuum take it. The earth recycle it. Not yours. And then we'll just feel through and around your physical and also energetic body, starting at the top of your head, 4 tendrils or ropes or cords that have been created between you and another person. So maybe just a scan, starting with a scan at the top, moving down, noticing any energetic sensations in, on, around your body. Sometimes they'll kind of feel like dents, like there's a dent in your auric field. Just scanning all the way down. Checking the sneaky places, the back of the heart, the back of the womb, backs of the knees, armpits, side bodies. And however this visual is presenting, these tendrils, these cords, these ropes, these energetic ties to other people, I want you to see a tool that might present as a weapon or fire or something sharp with which you can sever these cords. Could be a flamethrower, could be a sword, could be scissors. And breathing in your own light, breathing out the energy of other people. Just start cutting these cords. We'll go slowly or slow enough that you can feel the cord being cut. Either starting at the top and moving down or starting at the bottom, moving up, go intuitively. And just burn or cut these energetic cords with your mom, your brother, everyone in your social circle, places where you have to feel like, or when you feel like you're keeping up with everybody. Cords with internet connections. Cords that are meant to be here will always grow back. There's no judgment. It's not saying anything about anybody. Just coming back to your own energy. Cutting cords, cutting cords. Place them between your shoulder blades and your back. Breathing new life into these places, your own life, your own chi. And feel these cords go back to where they came, if they're true, or you can just drop them into that vacuum. Get sucked out. You're feeling finished or close to finished. With a couple big breaths, like big clearing breaths and some shake in your body, almost like you're an animal shaking off water. Just want you to shake off any last bits, any last and just let it be sucked down that tube. Any of those narratives from your mom, the way that she talks to herself about her own body, drop it, not yours. Good. Now connect to, again, that light, your light from within. And maybe even feel it also as a ball out in front of your chest so you can hold it with your hands, an energetic ball. This light from within in your body, all the way up and down your arms, throughout your head, and also this ball of energy light in front of you that you can hold in your hands. And every time you inhale, this ball of light is going to get even brighter. And when you exhale, all of that light is going to move into your aura. So inhale, your ball of light in your hands gets even bigger and brighter. Exhale, push all of that beautiful you-ness energy into your aura. On your inhales, your ball of light gets brighter. On your exhale, your aura gets brighter. Notice any colors that want to come in. If there's any last sneaky little lingering stories, chords, thoughts, just send them down that vacuum. And when you feel complete there, you can close the vacuum so that you are in your own jelly bean. Now, I would like you to teach your aura what you want to let in and what you are no to. As you hold this incredible, full of light, full of you, your own energy aura, speak to the boundary, the perimeter of your aura, and let it know what it can let in and what it cannot. You can take as much time in that conversation as you need. And when you're done, just wrap up, thank your energy field as only you can do.
Ooh, That's good. Oh. Yep, I feel more energized. Ugh. Right before I I was realizing and noticing this pattern of like when I'm in momentum of like growth, like, you know, like in this case, business, and um like feel very direction oriented, I start to like it's like I'm starting to like reach out to people, almost like making like managing their feelings of like I'm not abandoning you. And I was like in there was a day where I was observing that very curiously, and then I kind of went into this like, yeah, went the other way instead of the new way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of how that played out? Like, was there a person you saw yourself do this with?
Um, there was like several people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like lots of people in like social circles, just like conversations and phone calls. And like there was one day where I was like, I just fucking talked to like 3 people for like hours and hours, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted was to just be like in my own space that day. And I got none of my stuff done that I wanted to get done. Like, oh, somebody's calling me, I'll answer this. And have to talk, not have to, but like I'm gonna talk to this person about this. And then my whole day was gone. I was like, fuck, tired. Yeah, I would like to not do that anymore.
Yeah. What have you gotten out of that in the past?
Um,
Like, why do you do it for you?
I think it was like validation of like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Like sometimes the conversations would be that. Like, hey, I'm doing this thing, or I might go this way. And it was just like I got validation. I think that was, yeah, validation, like ego boost. Needing to be needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it would be a like ass backwards way that my savior can still save people.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that too. Like, I think especially, like with my mom, because one thing that I realized is like if you're not willing to deal with it, like you're not. So nothing that no amount of space holding that I have for you is gonna do anything. except deplete, except I'm going to feel really tired about it. And so that's kind of one of the conversations that I had with my aura, is like, I'm open to people, but I would love like only if like people are willing to deal with their own stuff. That's not what I'm here to do, actually.
Yeah.
And I think there's like that story in there of like, oh well, if I'm doing this work, then I should be able to help whoever, so and so, or this person is going through something.
Yeah.
That's kind of what was happening too. Like, oh, let me help you.
Yeah.
But actually, I can't. Not in that way.
Yeah. That one's circumstantial too, because there will be people that you can do that for and you want to do that for.
Yeah.
And that is part of a coaching client relationship. And like,
Yeah.
it like, I feel like there's like, we can hold space for there being caveats, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not, I think it's like the wounded healer is fixing, is helping, is self-sabotaging by just holding loose boundaries and like, yeah, I can fix that, I can help that, I should be able to do it. But the sacred healer heals by showing rather than by fixing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that's kind of what it feels like too. It's like, well, if I love them, then that was actually the major one, the main, where that goes into patterning. Sorry, I don't know if that made sense. The answer to the question.
What when your mom, and we can, of course, we can extend this everywhere in all relationships, but we'll just stay here for now. When your mom talks about herself in the ways that she does, what is your patterned response?
It's usually, I'll just be like, well, do something about it.
Yeah. Did you say that when you were like 15 too?
Yeah. Or I would be like I'd be like, well, then stop eating that. Like,
yeah.
And she would get mad at me.
Yeah. But cool. Okay. And what do you do now when she says things like that?
I don't really respond.
Cool.
Anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, let her talk. Like that day, I was like very irresponsive to the point where it was probably kind of like uncomfortable and awkward silency, but I just didn't have it in me to like it. At one point, I thought a sound was going to come out, but there was nothing. I just looked out the window because we were driving in the car.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at the grass and the birds.
Yeah. I think that you are energetically correct there.
Yeah.
Because energetically what's happening is she's like trying to loop you up in this drama thing, loop, triangle, some shape.
Yeah.
And in like, even as a teenager, when you're like, well, don't fucking eat that shit. Like, no,
Yeah.
don't do that. Then she still like has you,
Yeah.
and she can be mad at you instead of mad at herself. And so that
Yeah.
it's just this like thing. So if you just don't, it like doesn't allow that spiral to feed itself.
Yeah.
And
It
it's, yeah.
it was wild because the reason why I said observe was because after that, I kind of watched her like want my attention, but she became this like very tantrumy inner child. And she would do these weird things like, why are you up in my face right now? Do like, what is going on? And I was just like really curious about it because I was also very like non-responsive.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, interesting.
Interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Have we talked drama triangle stuff?
I don't think we have. No, actually.
You know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I started really paying attention to it, it was like, oh, this shit's everywhere. And it's literally a game that I just don't have to play. And I've also been not playing the game. And it's like, it leaves so many awkward silences, which is great because now our bodies are like ready to hold the awkward silence and like not make
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah, there's like a nervous system adjustment of like, I'm just gonna breathe through this.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing is charge. Like we love the thrill of being charged about something.
Yeah.
And if we like triangle is villain, victim, rescuer, and any one of these positions has this like it has a charge, like you can feel it.
Yeah.
Rescuer is my pattern, and I feel this like it's almost this like I feel it in my like between my womb and my solar plexus, this
Mhm.
like cord that like pulls me. And if I
Yeah.
don't play the game, then the victim or the villain can't play their games.
Yeah.
And they're just left in this like, it's really interesting. It
Yeah.
was for years, it was playing out with me and Sean and Elliot.
Yeah.
And I could not understand it. I could not understand Sean's perspective on what was
Mhm.
happening. I'm like, what are you talking about? So Elliot would collapse and become the victim. And this happened like early on, like 3 or 4 years old, maybe kindergarten. And she like something would already be charged. Like she'd be trying to do math at the kitchen table or something. And then he would say something villainous that would like, and she would collapse and I would swoop in and save her. Like even now I can feel my rescuer wanting to say the things that are like, she's a 5-year-old child and I'm an adult and her mom and I need to protect her. Like those are all savior things.
Yeah.
And I've only been playing this for like a couple months where those two start something and I
Mhm.
just don't. I'm like, I don't even look at them. I don't, you two are going to do what you're going to do. I'm not going to bother myself with that shit. I'm not going to save you. But Sean, his perspective was that I was always taking her side. You guys are always ganging up and you never join my side. And like, now that I see this behavior, I'm like, I can't join your side. You're the villain.
Yeah.
Because like we're energetically connected. That's not how this game works. You wouldn't even know what to do if I joined your side. But it all makes sense. I was like, oh, that's how he sees it that way. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just don't play the game.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And you see it
Yeah.
everywhere. Like, people will complain because they want you to like jump in with them.
Yeah.
My friend, when I was in San Francisco, my friend Patrick, he and I were on a walk, and he's like, have you noticed that people our age are just like, they're like, yeah, my low back, and like, this is happening politically. And he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I just don't. I just don't do that. I don't play it. I'm not interested.
You know what? That's been a mood that I've been feeling a lot lately, is I'm not interested.
Mm.
Yeah. I think I make where the energy drain was, is like I was making myself wrong about it. Now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
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 Because being in, like, I was like just a lot of socializing for, I don't know, too much for my introverted self. And I was like, whoa, I'm not interested in a lot of these things right now. Just not. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of story in there. Interesting. Okay. But in the core of all of this, I feel that, what's the phrase that you said? Something about change. Hold on, I want to pull it up because it struck a chord with me. Oh, it's all about to change. That's what I feel parts of that too for me. And like the feeling of uninterested without the story, and the I don't know what's going to happen without the story, and the I don't really have a desire for something right now without the story. Feels like the pause before whatever's happening on the other end of that I have no idea about, and the trust for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without all the other stuff.
Right.
Like, that's the space that I actually feel that I'm in right now. So when I'm playing and I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to post this thing, not be attached to how it actually looks like, or I'm just going to make this sign and not be attached to it. Like, that's what it feels like for me. It's like, I mean, I don't have anything that's concrete right now, but it doesn't feel like I need to at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I was feeling that as well. It's really awesome to witness you just walk yourself right into that spot. That's great. Fuck yeah. This place of unattachment, that's just like neutrality, is so fucking magical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, like on our sliding scale of like, like it's easy to fall into wound, of course. It's like really close to apathy.
Mhm.
It's not that close. I think our brains think it's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it could look like that. It's
Yeah.
paradoxical. Yeah.
I feel like it's more of like, yeah, a perception of what it might look like.
Mm-hmm. I often try to write about this spot,
Mm.
and it'll come out like, I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
but I give all of the fucks. And like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like for someone else to read that, that wouldn't. So I just don't really say anything.
Yeah.
But both of those things are true. Like I give so much shit about you and your healing and your transformation and all of your stuff. But I'm like so unattached to, not everything, of course, I'm also human, but
Yeah.
when I'm so unattached, it's this like I don't give a fuck spot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything. I don't know anything. How could I possibly give a fuck about anything?
It just becomes very comical.
I
Like,
know.
it's just, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't take anything that you're saying seriously. And it's like very serious. You know, like healing. The healers are rising. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? It sounds really kind of dumb to me. Like, just not serious. It sounds too serious, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, well, but the thing is, like, I like being here. I like this space to some extent. I just don't know if I just don't agree with that, or it's just really comical to me, or it's just too serious where I'm like,
Right. Yeah. And you're like, this healer's gonna be over here just like like
be over here.
I'm just like picking flowers. I don't like you guys are all fucking uprising.
Yeah, I'm just like, uh, I don't want that.
Uh yeah, yeah. You can be you can still be in those spaces and not be in total alignment. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's the part that I need to allow for myself. Um, because I'm like battling with myself. Like, this isn't right, so you're wrong for being here. Or like, yeah, I'm just fighting with myself pretty much this whole time. It's not really anybody. It's just me. Me against me.
Isn't it always? Oh, yeah. I just had a sit down practice with myself before this call. It was me against me. I'm like, oh, okay.
But that, even that can get like, because we're always just like putting it on ourselves when sometimes like that isn't my shit,
Yeah.
but taking I'm taking it upon myself to like look through myself and what is it within me that's reflecting this, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, that's just not mine.
It's not mine. That is so exhausting too.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
where I was getting like,
yeah.
like,
That's where
whoa.
my feminine can get super resentful
Mm,
in this, like, I'm just fucking doing everything over here. What the fuck are you guys doing?
yeah. Yeah.
I'll just do it all again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And in that room, in the space of like the room of like almost alignment, like I'm still liking showing up here, I still like working with these people, like mostly in alignment, which is probably just like what life is.
Yeah. You know, life.
Like, the more and more we're true here, the more and more things are aligning, but like we got to go to fucking dinner parties that are not in alignment, you know, like
Yeah.
it happens. But in those spaces, like what I'm seeing is this room of all of the serious healers that are just like, we are rising together. And for you to be true here, to like hold on to your mast and be like, yeah, that's cool, but like I brought the fart jokes, you know, like like that.
This is like, I think this is where that internal battle has been, is just like, I need to allow myself, I would like to allow myself to feel so regulated here that I am just bringing the fart jokes, and I'm like, okay,
And that
cool.
is the healing. Yeah.
And I think that's why there's been that desire to like stick it through, is because I usually will just be like, nope, that's not for me, I'm gonna find something else, you know?
Oh
That's
yeah.
the pattern.
Yeah.
So I was kind of getting this inkling and like nudge of like, well, what happens when you just say the fart joke, you know?
Yeah.
Where you're like, ah, that's for you, but this is what I'm into, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens then? Like, just gotta do it. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
But that's like my biggest desire, is to just like fully be able to be myself in all the spaces
Yeah.
and shake it up like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, this sounds like a beautiful playground for you then.
Yeah. Like, actually, I'm gonna cuss a lot in my readings, so
Mm-hmm.
you may or may not like me, but it's okay.
Yeah. It's actually best if you don't.
Yeah.
That's fine. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It'll be so refreshing for everyone else around you too, who is also stifled by the supposed to's. Like,
yeah,
I'm holding this role of very serious rising healer.
yeah,
That's stifling as fuck. And so like to
yeah,
see someone who is actually embodying, living through what is true for them, and like shaking shit up and like popping balloons and like woo, like that,
yeah,
that is also liberation for everyone else too.
yeah. That feels like a dream for me, you know? Like, hey, let's not be so stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Here, or here, or here.
Yeah.
But as we know, like, we go first. So
Yeah.
I
Brave.
have to show the way.
Bringing the whoopee cushion is brave, Violet.
uh yeah.
Yeah. So what's the edge? Like what's threatened by
Oh, it's a great question. Well, there's the obvious ones like not being accepted, which I don't really care, but I do. You know, sometimes I don't have sometimes when I walk into spaces like that, I just feel completely like, okay, be quiet. You know, like in when you walk into the Star House and you're just like whispering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't feel like it actually feels like it's shifting now that I'm talking about it. Like being in these spaces and the ways that I'm allowing myself to be. I'm quite loud and laughy, you know, like my really loud laughs.
Yeah.
It just happens. But that's what I'm saying, that like it is like, oh, I do get to be myself here. Yeah.
Yeah.
The edge is like the whispers about me.
Mm. Yeah. Great. That's juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this feels like because I'm not thinking about that space anymore. I'm thinking about like, oh, where does it feel edgy? And it's that. It's like this girl's a fucking mess. She's all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of playing with that too, with, you know, just like setup or graphics. Like it's changed every time. Like, oh, I got this cloth, or I got this new crystal. I'm gonna try this one. And this woman was that I see often is there's like, your table keeps changing. I'm like, yep, and it's gonna keep changing. And I feel like that with graphics too as I play. I'm like, there's not gonna be a brand, there's not gonna be brand colors or structure here. Like I'm gonna let myself play and just like throw things up. Maybe it looks different every month. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or every day, every week. I don't know.
It's got to turn you on.
Yeah. And so I really like this for me because then I just get to be all over the place if I really want to until I really, really like something.
Yeah. Yeah. It does become the space of infinite possibilities. And you'll find that like your branding
Yeah.
that is just you, like you'll start to have things like there
Yeah.
will be colors that pop out, like that like purple devil emoji is like pretty specific for Violet branding.
Yeah.
um
And the tongue.
and and the tongue, yeah. Yes. Yeah. And there will be fonts that you like when you start fucking around with fonts. There will be fonts that you just like, you're like, ooh, that one. Ooh, I'm here again. Oh, it's you again. Like
Yeah.
let it come to you rather than
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
branding. Yeah.
Yeah.
The then when
This is
she
what
told you and she was like, your table is changing all the time.
Mhm.
Um, did you say to her that she's just changing her shirt all the time?
No, I didn't. Wasn't that quick on my feet yet. That's what I want for myself too. Just, you know how some people are just so witty and on their feet because they're so regulated. They're just in the moment all the time. It's
Yeah,
usually
sometimes
like
it's also a defense mechanism.
true. But you can feel like when someone just really lights is just light. They're like a ball of light. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
can feel the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a regulation thing. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a funny one for me. That's one that I have made myself wrong for not being all of my life.
Yeah.
The family that lived behind us growing up, the dad and the two sons were like that, but very wounded way. Like
Yeah.
all of them were so funny and like so fucking fast. And I was like, God, I want that. I want to be like that. And I'm just not. I'm not that at all. Like not even fucking close. And the more and more regulated my system is, the more I'm able to see the spots. It's just being with the moment, really.
Yeah.
This is the moment.
Yeah. It's like being able to just be so in the moment.
Yeah.
That you're like with whatever.
Yeah. Well, I really like the spot that you're in. I think this is great.
Yeah. It's fun. And it's also like with style, like with clothing style. It's like I'm letting myself have this in all the ways because it's like I never did. Like I'm just gonna be comfortable and quiet and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to see how messy it is. Uh, yeah. Oh well. Perceive me.
Perceive
Go
me.
ahead.
Perceive my imperfection. I'm regulated as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What other doors do we have open for you?
We have
Do you feel like you're back in your
jobs.
body?
Yes.
Cool.
I need lots of laughs to be back in my body. That's
Yeah.
the cure. But like, not wounded laughs. Um okay, so there was two jobs, right?
Yeah.
And there was something else this week that I really liked. Hold on. Right, I don't have it. I also like the to-do list that I made for myself because I used to hate them. I don't know, they're just fun and ridiculous now. List. Now it's like, oh, don't know what to do. Look at the list. Mm. I lost it. It was something that we talked about what we were going to focus on this month. It had to do with business. Was it branding?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or messaging.
Oh, it was clear. Yeah, clarity. Um, simplifying, clarifying.
Yeah.
That.
Okay. Well, we have 15 minutes. So which one do you want to work on? Is it jobs or is it messaging?
okay, here's the thing about jobs. I just don't know what I want there. I just want my business to pop off.
Yeah.
So maybe jobs. What was that face? How about let's do the thing that I want?
Yeah, I mean, the face was like, there's no conviction. Like, maybe jobs. There's no conviction.
It's just there's like this part of me that's just oddly not that worried about it.
Yeah.
There's no like, I need to get a job. There was because I'm like, I would like to support myself financially, but also that's cool that you think you need to get a job in the ways that you think you need to get a job. You know what I mean? Because all I could think of was like, oh, I'll become a delivery driver. How about a dog walker? While I work at this restaurant, like all really boring things.
Yeah.
Like, is there other possibilities that my brain can't? My brain's not coming up with anything.
Yeah.
And everything seems just kind of like it would take up more of my time than I'd like for it to. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, man, I'm with you. So the fence that I'm on is that as your coach, I'm not going to tell you to not get a job because we need money.
yeah.
But also as your coach, I can feel
Yeah.
that none of this feels fucking true. And I also wholeheartedly, whole bodily believe in your business supporting you.
Yeah.
So like practically I fucking get it and we can work on job energetics, but like from a feminine standpoint, I'm like, shoot for the fucking moon. Like,
Yeah.
knock this shit off.
That's the feelings that I've been getting. That's why there's that like I'm not completely worked up about not finding a job. Also, my readings on Saturdays, and I know you said like every time's going to be different. It was just a really cool experience to witness because like just watching myself be able to do, I read like for 6 or 7 people, but just in that time frame that I needed to. And it was like, because usually I don't like to just leave people hanging where the energy doesn't feel complete. Like it has to feel complete. So that's why I wrote on my sign, like it's just either a 1 question or a 1 something. Like it's not, because when I first started, I was like, this woman just like kept asking me all these questions, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, you need a container. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So so there's a lot of like having conversations with myself about like, okay, we need this and we need this sort of a structure so that it sets the container. And so that day was just like boom, 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 boom. And it was fucking great. And I made more than I expected. But it wasn't even that. It was like the quality of conversations that I had with people and what they received from whatever they needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
man.
fuck
That
yeah.
quality of energy exchange is like, it's the energy exchange. It's not the money.
Yeah. Yeah. And
They have
that's,
to be equal, but
yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And I just had a conversation with myself yesterday of like, Violet, you only really actively have done this for a month. So what the fuck are you expecting? Like, we're going to keep evolving this damn thing until you find your groove.
Yeah.
Bitch, it's been a month. Relax.
Yeah. That I want it now.
Yeah, that's like, oh, is this that? Yes, it is. The I want it now.
Yeah. The Violet Beauregard.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a golden goose, Daddy.
I want it now, Daddy. Well, you're a bad seed.
That's so funny that her name's Violet also. That's really good.
Yeah.
She's like your wounded alter ego.
Yeah. I see myself in her.
Hell
I
yeah.
see.
God, me too, man.
Everything.
Me too.
But this is what I've been asking for, right? Sustainable business, like slow building, like we're building.
Yeah.
So, hello. But I would also like to, you know, like feel supported financially.
Mm-hmm. I feel like on the job bit, you can just put out an energetic letter,
Yeah.
like put out your energetic resume.
Yeah.
That's like, this is what I'm looking for, and just like let it be super feminine, and specific in energetics and money. I'm totally going to call myself out on like not having action here, but like put it out there and trust it. That's like, hey, I'm going to run into someone. Maybe not even that. That's a detail. I'm going to, the part where the job is looking for you as much as you're looking for the job, like a relationship. I'm stuttering on my phrasing because I want it to be like, it's like you're trusting it and it's already happening. So like not quite, I'm calling in, but future tense where it's already happening. Where the job just comes to you.
Yeah. Yes, please. Because here's also the other thing that I was running into, like the jobs that only my brain could think of. I'm like, who's gonna pay me like $20 to $35 an hour? And then I'm like, but I can make that in one reading for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah. So then my body's like, why would I do that? And I'm working for someone else. Like my brain's looking at the numbers and the time and the energy.
Maybe just like that energetic letter, or even just the ask, like, I would love some help with a creative solution here.
Yeah.
And show me what my brain can't see.
Yeah. Creative solution. That's
Yeah, man, when you put it that way, like, fuck that. Like, you should just like go busking, like take yourself on the streets and do readings.
yeah.
Corners. Creative solutions.
I was thinking of, I don't know, coming up with some kind of offer where it's just like a quick, like, you want to check in, or it's not like a full-on reading, you know? And it's the same as what I do in person, but for virtual, like people who I can't see.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's been floating a little bit.
Yeah. That feels like the creative problem solving that I was also feeling. It's like,
Yeah.
cool, you have this thing, like let's work with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna pull a card.
Yes.
I get it. They've been calling for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I know.
Guys. Like, I want them.
Man, everybody's coming.
Ugh.
Cool.
Is it cloudy there?
Yeah, it just started pouring actually.
Oh.
It's been raining in the afternoons, evenings. Okay, so we're gonna pull a Forest Fae card first.
Okay.
Because they have a really great way of setting the stage for they have a really great way of like breaking up the seriousness. And the one I pulled the other day, I pinned to it's on my whiteboard because I was like, oh, like humbled by it. It's like, oh, fuck. It was like, choose your companions wisely.
Oh.
And I keep getting this, like, I'm going to use the words I have to put applications on gospel and also on one-on-one programs. And I never fucking thought that I would do that. But like, as I'm sitting here now and pulled that card, like choose your companions wisely, I was like, oh, okay. Like I have also been asking for that.
Yeah.
Heard.
That's
Okay.
really cool. Can I say something about
Yeah.
Because like, so in human design, you're a generator and you have that sacral energy, and it's like life force for the people that you come in contact with. So like what you give and offer is like life force to whatever, like someone's business or someone, whatever they're working on. And it's like that's your, so they're like not taking it, but like that's part of the energy that you offer. So to give that kind of structure of like, oh, who am I willing to be with and gift this energy to? That's me. That's my chi.
Huh,
That makes
cool.
sense. Yeah.
Thank you. I think I energetically know this, but like cognitively didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I know that about my own energy, like for myself, but not necessarily that is that for others too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the Fae is this really sweet full moon owl fairy holding a pot. Looks like this.
Whoa.
Okay. Seed spells. Create your story. It is the most potent form of magic.
Create your story. You mean my children's book that is on my jobs list? Story, that is your magic.
Create your story. That is it is the most potent form of magic. Yeah. And I mean, story in all of the ways, right? Like story in the way that you are building your business. Like you're writing your story next to it. You're like choosing your own story.
Yeah.
Your the stories that you tell yourself about everything really, but business. So this is an answer to creative problem solving.
Yeah.
Job, business. I also learned, do you have 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. On my retreat in California, I learned the most about this. She doesn't call herself a coach, so I don't know what to call her. I'm like my new coach, my new mentor, Alina. I learned the most about, like, on that trip. What did you learn? I learned the most about Alina's, like, the ways that she does magic. And my magician and alchemist were both like, cool. Like she was like super fucking playful in meditations. And just like really real, like speaking like a real human rather than this like meditative journaling voice. But this one was like, whoa, she does this like storytelling magic. So we had this woman come in. She's a makeup artist, and the first night she was there, she taught everybody how to do their makeup, which was like super fucking cringe for my teenager. And she was so sweet and like really magical, and I'd like resisted and leaned in and resisted and leaned in. And then the next morning, she came and did everybody's makeup for our photo shoots. But this woman had lost her luggage, had gotten lost on her flight home from Costa Rica. And it was like one of the big, huge luggages with all of her makeup supplies. So it had like thousands of dollars of like her fucking business. It just got lost.
Yeah.
And so Alina pulled us all together, like without her. She was outside cleaning up her stuff. And she's like, okay, we're going to write a story about how her luggage is returned to her. And it involves, like, we picked a couple things that it involved. Like somebody was like hummingbirds, and we're like, okay, cool. So it got dropped from the airplane into the jungles of Costa Rica into this magical hummingbird's nest. And they investigated and they figured out that it was hers, and they were like, all right guys, we can all team together and like pick it up. And they like wove a nest so they could carry it all together all the way back to California, and then they dropped it off at her doorstep. And then Alina had all of us like enact this like around this woman, like, okay, you're going to play the hummingbirds and you're going to tell her this story. There were 2 women telling her the story at the same time, like in both ears, like little hummingbirds, about how this luggage was returned. And she, like, a few days later, it was returned to her. Like it was beyond the window of like, you're going to see your luggage again. She had already given up and like surrendered to it. Spell casting storytelling, like tell the story of how you want this shit to go down.
That made me fully drop into my body. Like, I'm back.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
I fucking love it, man. And like calling in clients, like, tell the story where your energetic letter like hits them sideways in the head when they're walking through the mall, and they get all starry-eyed and spun, and then they run into this person. Like, you tell the whole story of how they get to you so that they energetically know how to get to you.
This is way better than I have ever heard it.
Right?
Yeah. like the scripting. Have you ever heard of like scripting?
No.
But it's like this, like you basically write out what's going to happen, but
Oh,
it doesn't sound as like it drops in a hummingbird's nest and then they weave the nest to get like not like that. I never heard of like that before. So because my body was like, yeah, we can do that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Old standbys, our favorites. Um, is the question still around creative problem solving for Violet's money?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, it feels really fun to play with right now. Creative problem solving for Violet's money. Show us creative solutions for job, business. In true fit and alignment. It allows her to be in her own body, her own space, and at her own pace. Creative solutions. I'm going to put these on the floor. Hang on.
Love that color wheel.
You got the poet, which is the same thing you just got.
Yeah. I was in meditation yesterday and I thought of that card. And I was like, it was a weird story that happened. I was like, I'm not a poet, but I always wanted to be. Here it is.
Oh my God. We just watched Mean Girls with Elliot for the first time the other night. And you've seen it, yeah?
Yeah.
So I have like the plastics cadence like running in my head. There's like, it's kind of like Clueless too.
Yeah.
There's like different kinds of poets, you know?
Yeah. So they want me to write the story. Okay.
Okay. I also pulled one from the Gods and Portals deck.
Yeah.
And I've been just like flipping through it during this call, like just a deck in my hands, and I'm just kind of flipping through it, and that card keeps coming out. So I'm like, okay, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Let me actually pay attention. It is the myth of the fractal tree.
Whoa.
I'm actually going to read it. Where did I?
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay, and by 5 extra minutes, I meant 10.
Okay. I'm good with extra minutes, just as long as you are.
We just get to playing so hard, you know? But Mom,
you need to come home now. Wait, just 5 more minutes.
I'm not ready. We're doing something. Oh, the myth of the fractal tree is the Joker card.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Perfect.
Where are you?
I love how that looks like a map that you just opened up.
Where are we? Okay, really though, where are we? myth. These are all fucking suits. The Joker's not a suit card. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Found us. The myth of the fractal tree is the map to everything that has existed within the bounds of time. It is recommended to call upon this energy when wanting to understand different outcomes to a single situation. If you want something to be different, then look to the branches of the fractal tree to understand that for every outcome, there are a dozen more that you have not yet lived. The fractal tree is infinite and boundless.
Yeah.
Okay. It also told me to pull 3 more cards.
Okay. I'd like to share while you're pulling.
Yeah.
When I was in the star, when we were in the star house at one point in time, you know how you shared with me that like the being that you see as me is like cosmic and earth, and I saw that like every tree on this earth is also connected to like a star in the sky. And so we can talk to them. It's like as above, so below sort of energetics. And I've been thinking about this thing that I wanted to bring forth one time, and I just never like did for whatever reason. But it was called poetry, and it was just like, but tree, TREE. And it was me like speaking while like just videoing the branches of a tree, like poetry. So I'm gonna revisit that.
Love it.
And there was a tree that was calling me yesterday to go visit. So I'm going to visit that tree as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
The 3 cards that branch off from this card represent the different possible outcomes. You have Portal for the time loop.
Okay.
God of Synchronicity. And Portal for the new lovers.
Cool.
So that's neat. Thank you, cards. How delightful.
Portal for the new lovers.
Yeah.
Is my lover coming? There's this boy that I've been seeing at sound baths, and I just have a crush on him. Just saying that.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, my love, I gotta run.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.